Michael Brown's parents just hit the ghetto lottery. Look how much they are getting paid for your tax dollars. Now we've seen it all, folks. In today's America, if you raise a two-bit thug who gets his stupid self killed for intimidating people and attacking authority, the government will reward you. Yes, you read that correctly. Ferguson, Missouri's city attorney said Friday that the settlement amount to the family of Michael Brown was $1.5 million. Michael Brown Sr. and Lezley McSpadden sued the city, former police chief Tom Jackson and former police officer, Darren Wilson, back in 2015. They actually had the audacity to argue that the death of the thugs that they raised deprived them of financial support through his future potential wages. Where was he going to work? He was a good-for-nothing thug.Nice picture, shows this thug's big accomplishment. He graduated high school. Wow. Who would have thought he was going to get this far considering the upbringing he was given? Now that's the real Michael Brown, the one whose parents got $1.5 million for raising. Because they did such a great job with him.Odd. The convenience store owner in this video was roughed up and all he got was his store looted during the Fergusson Ghetto Shopping Spree of 2014. Newsweek reports. Reuters, a St. Louis County grand jury has reached a decision in the investigation into the shooting of unarmed black teenager Michael Brown by white Ferguson, Missouri, policeman Darren Wilson in August, the St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office said on Monday. The decision will be disclosed later on Monday. A timeline on the shooting and investigation follows. August 9, while driving a police SUV, Wilson encounters Brown and a friend of Brown walking down the street about midday. Accounts differ but witnesses agree there was a confrontation and Wilson fired multiple shots at Brown, killing him. Autopsies found that Brown had been shot at least 6 times. Daily emails and alerts get the best of Newsweek delivered to your inbox. A couple of hundred people gather at the scene and 6 police officers are called to preserve order. Brown's body is left in the street for about 4 hours. August 10, at least 24 businesses are damaged and 1 store is set on fire when looting breaks out during the protests, according to police. 32 people are arrested and 2 officers injured. August 11, Brown's mother calls for calm. But in another night of unrest, police wearing riot gear fire tear gas to disperse hundreds of demonstrators. August 12, President Barack Obama calls for reflection and promises a U.S. Justice Department investigation. Brown's father urges an end to the violence. August 13, police use tear gas and clashes with protesters. August 14, after complaints of heavy-handed police tactics, Governor Jay Nixon puts the Missouri Highway Patrol in charge of security, led by Captain Ron Johnson, an African-American from the area. Protests are boisterous but peaceful. August 15, Ferguson Police Chief Tom Jackson identifies Wilson as the officer who shot Brown. Jackson releases security video of a strong-arm robbery at a convenience store minutes before the shooting that shows Brown shoving a store clerk. Jackson says later that Wilson's stop of Brown was unrelated to the robbery. August 16, Nixon declares a state of emergency and sets a curfew. August 17, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder orders the Justice Department to conduct its own autopsy on Brown. Gunfire rings out during protests and police disperse demonstrators with tear gas. August 18, Nixon lifts the curfew and sends the National Guard to Ferguson. The Brown family releases results of a private autopsy. August 20, a St. Louis County grand jury begins hearing evidence. August 21 to 22, the National Guard begins a gradual withdrawal amid 2 nights of muted protests.